centers in the Greenbelt, Maryland, West Virginia, New Mexico, and New York. It's a true privilege and honor for me to be here today. I'd like to thank Mr. Robert Hurley and Ms. Teresita Smith for reaching out to me and inviting me here today. Thank you to Mr. David Pierce and Mr. Ray Rublata and Commander Dunn for the warm welcome. And thank you to everyone here at Wallops for the very warm welcome and hospitality. And thank you to the Color Guard for proudly displaying our colors. I want to give a quick shout out. I don't know if Mike Daly is in the audience. Mike, are you here? No. I had a very impromptu meeting with an old friend this morning. My old teammate, my brother, Mike Daly, is a retired Navy SEAL after 24 years of service and is now working here at Wallops Flight Facility. And he found out I was coming out here. He sent me a text message this morning, and we had an impromptu coffee this morning. It was great to see him. But he was a great service member, a great teammate, and one of the many reasons why our military is such an honorable place to serve. I've never given a Veterans Day speech before. This is technically my first public event since joining the Astronaut Corps. So I'm honored to be here. When I was first asked by Robert Hurley to give a Veterans Day speech, my natural introverted self said, no way. I'm not that guy. Not for Veterans Day. That is too significant of an event for me to talk on the behalf of all of our veterans. But I knew I couldn't say no. And I didn't want to say no. And when I took a moment to pause and just reflect on why I didn't want to do it, it was because I was afraid of not giving the deserved respect and honor of our service members. Honoring our veterans and the sacrifices of our fallen is very personal to me and very hard for me to share publicly. But Veterans Day is an important day for our country, and it's not just a day to remember military service members, but all those who dedicate their life to service for the betterment of others. And service is the path that brought me here today. And I wish I could tell you that it was always a path of service for me, but that's not true. The beginnings of what brought me here today were selfish. Growing up, I did not know what I wanted to do in life. All I knew was that I didn't want to be a physician, and I didn't want to go to Harvard, because those were the two things that my father wanted me to do. My father was an immigrant from South Korea, and I think the only path to success my father thought was available for first-generation Korean Americans was going to medical school and going to Harvard. Growing up, I would get asked, what do you want to be in life? And I could never honestly answer that question from my heart. At one point, I wanted to be an architect because I liked Legos and I liked making blueprints. My first blueprints were the skateboard box my friend and I did tricks on, and of the doghouse for my dog that I never ended up building. But deep down inside, I yearned to be a protector of the people I loved. You see, my very first path in life was forged from insecurity, a lack of identity, and anger. I did not come from a stable home. And all I wanted to do was protect my mother and brother, but I didn't know how to. I was 16 years old when I heard my first calling. The SEAL teams. Now let's go back. This is the year 2000, and believe it or not, this was a time where not that many people knew what Navy SEALs were. It wasn't in Hollywood, it wasn't in books. And I was just enamored by this special breed of warrior that lived by honor, loyalty, humility, integrity, and strive to earn this privilege every single day. The silent guardian that places the welfare of others above their own and never seeks recognition for their actions. That always leads by example with uncompromising integrity, competence, and perseverance. This is what I wanted to become. But it wasn't for service. It wasn't for country. It was for self. Watching the Twin Towers fall on September 11th from my biology class in senior year of high school strengthened my resolve to enlist. But it was still for selfish reasons. I wanted to be among this elite group to gain the strength to protect the ones I loved. To protect the people that couldn't protect themselves. I needed to find my identity, to find my self-worth, and I thought I would find those answers by becoming a SEAL. Because in my mind back then, if some wimpy kid from Los Angeles who didn't have the confidence to amount to anything, who was too scared to show up to his own high school yearbook photo, could accomplish something as difficult as becoming a SEAL, then maybe I am worth something. So I enlisted in the Navy right after high school. And the suffering and hardship of training was everything I hoped it would be and more. And I thought the training was hard. But then I lived through war. And that is when I truly understood pain, fear, suffering, desperation. It changed me. And I wish I could look at you and say that all those changes were good. But serving alongside my brothers and sisters did inspire me to find my true path, the path that led me to service, and led me to where I am today. All I wanted to do for much of my adolescent life was to feel I belonged somewhere. I certainly didn't get that from home or from school. And for the first time in my life, in the SEAL teams, I felt that I belonged somewhere. And I discovered that I truly loved the men and women I served alongside, and that I would gladly die for them. And my teammates loved me. We band of brothers. We were there for each other. We suffered together. We cried together. We fought together. And sometimes we died for each other. I could go through a long, exhausting list of names of strong warriors, better humans than I, that are no longer with us because of their love and service to their fellow teammates, because of their sacrifice. One of these warriors is Mikey Mansour, my teammate. He was only 25 years old when he sacrificed his life for his family. On September 29th, 2006, Mikey was on a rooftop in Iraq with other SEALs, holding a defensive position when a grenade landed on the rooftop they were on. And Mikey was the only person situated to escape the blast. But instead, he jumped on that grenade and smothered that explosion with his body and saved his other teammates from certain death. I have no doubt that Mikey was a courageous man, but I don't think it was courage that inspired him to jump on that grenade. I think it was love. A bond so deep for his family that trading his life required no hesitation. Another warrior was Ryan Job. He was a Bud's classmate of mine. He was shot in the face on August 2nd, 2006 in Iraq, putting his life on the line for his brothers and sisters, including another brother of ours, Mark Lee, who was killed in action later that same day. Ryan survived the incident thanks to the service of remarkable nurses and physicians. I was the medic by Ryan's side on that rooftop, and I did the best I could to stabilize him. but that's all I could do. He needed the mind and the hand of an experienced physician. Ryan often told me that he wishes I was a better looking man because I am the last person that Ryan saw before infection and inflammation took away his eyesight. Ryan died a few years later after a failed surgery. But he spent the rest of his life after that day as a blind, grateful servant, working to inspire others and improving the lives of veterans. Ryan and Mikey lived a life of service. They were one of many who inspired me to dedicate my remaining life to service. For me, I decided that the best way for me to continue my service was as a military physician. Despite my immature, spiteful pledge to my father that I would not become a doctor and not go to Harvard, I did both things. And when the call for applications came out by NASA for the next class of space explorers, I applied. To me, service does not have to be on the battlefield. It doesn't have to be in a hospital. It can happen in any shape and form. Contributing to our nation's mission of space exploration for the benefit of humanity is a platform of service that I am honored to be a part of. Having the opportunity to be inspired and to inspire the next generation of our youth to smash barriers, to explore the unknown, to fail and get back every single time is one of the most honorable ways of service one can have. And every person in this room lives that every day. Warriors like Mikey and Mark and countless others would have undoubtedly contributed many great things to our world if they had the chance. They gave up their chance to raise children, to grow old, to live happy, full lives that they very much deserved. They gave up everything for each other, for a cause, and for us. So I made a promise to them that I would spend the rest of my life making this world a better place in their honor. I promised that they would continue to live through my service. This is how we honor veterans. The best we can do for them is to always remember their service and their sacrifice. We honor our veterans by pledging to continue their service through our actions to make this world a better place. Not just on Veterans Day, but every day. And you don't need to wear a uniform or be a veteran to serve. Your service does not end just because your enlistment or commission is fulfilled. What you do here every day at Wallops, serving alongside your NASA family, for each other, for the Astronaut Corps, serves our mission for space exploration and by extension, our country and humanity. For space exploration has played a pivotal role in establishing American predominance as a world leader. In order for America to continue our preeminent position as a defender of democracy and liberty, we must continue to look up at the stars and beyond. And what you do here serves that mission. Before we conclude, I kindly ask that we remember the thousands of men and women who have given their lives in service, and of the service members that are still in harm's way around the world. Let us please pause for a moment to think of those standing watch on our behalf. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great honor to be here with you today. God bless you all. Bless our veterans, and bless the United States of America.